Hi there, everybody, and welcome to our October Astro-Healing Circle. Valen and I are thrilled to be here at the beginning of this fall season. And of course, because it's school back in session season, we have the Language of the Stars courses that are going to be starting again. If you are interested in part one or part two, and Belen will explain the difference between the two. We are offering them. Belen will be teaching those both online and in person. So if you are in the Cobourg, Ontario area, those of you watching in recording, and you would like to come and join in, she has in-person classes happening in Cobourg in November, but online starting the week of October 13th. So Belen, do you want to give us some details about that?
Yeah. Part one is for the absolute beginner. It's the fundamentals, it's the planets, it's the signs, it's the basics. You have to start from there. Part two, it layers that knowledge with more sort of holistic understanding of the chart, some of the different techniques, still very much at a fundamental level, I'll say. And part two would be open to anyone who already knows the planets, the signs, and the houses. Like that's just on the website it says prerequisite is part one, but it's actually just the fundamental knowing the symbols. That's how you would need that for going into part two. And the in-person is going to be Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 at Whispering Oaks in Cobourg. It's a lovely spot, and I'm really excited to be teaching in person because it's all been online. So it's kind of like it's a bit of a new thing. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so if you are interested, please do reach out to us at joy@toolsfortransformation.ca, and Valen will respond to your questions. So,
and I'll just add to that. Sorry, just add to that. The on our website of tools, if you click on courses, you'll see the different courses on there for the details.
On toolsfortransformation.ca, you can get the details. Cool. Yeah. So we're going to start with this, and then we will move into. Actually, let's not. Let's do it the other way around. We're going to just start with for a moment, just hand on belly. Just put your hand on your belly and start to just focus in on your breath. I actually really like to listen to Zora when I'm in a more kind of embodied or present state. Welcome, Kate. And we are going to just notice any parts of the body that are feeling a little bit tense. So notice around your neck, around your shoulders, lower back, any of your elbows or knees or ankles. The joints sometimes can get a little tense, that fascia, that connective tissue. So just putting the hand on the belly, one or both hands on the belly. We're going to use the belly breath when we do our journey later on. But right now, just settling into yourself, feeling the chair beneath you, feeling the ground beneath you, sinking into yourself, sinking into your breath, being really present. And then I'm going to ask Valen to share Zora's message for October with us, please.
My dear ones, you are being gifted with a time of deepening connection to your soul's journey that is calling you forward through the lens of your past. It's a sacred journey that allows you to know yourself through inner reflection in a way that opens your future path in alignment with your soul. The times you are living now may feel uncertain or even unsettled, but we can assure you that these uncertainties are leading you to your own inner certainty, for that is where your truth lies. Create space in your life at this time to ponder what has been your path up to this moment. Each step you have taken has brought you to this place that is now calling you into a future where being true to your unique self allows you to express the gifts that you've come to offer in this particular lifetime. Know that your own personal truth, when felt at a soul level, will be your guide. When you trust the wisdom that arises from within, your path becomes clear. You are guided, you are honored, you are loved.
Just let that message sink in to your body. And as always, we're going to be offering some energy healing work this evening. If you would rather not participate, please just send me a message personally or just to the group chat and no thank you. It's no problem, no requirement. And we are going to carry on.
So this month is an interesting month because as much as there's things moving forward, there's a lot of backward energy. Lots of things are going retrograde. But one thing that's about to move forward is Pluto. And Pluto, it's funny as I was doing this, is like last year we talked a lot about Pluto as it was moving into Aquarius. So but a year ago, we were talking a lot about Pluto. And Pluto's about deep healing, total transformation. It's about being personally empowered. It's diving into the shadow work, pulling things up to be healed and transmuted. And Aquarius is the visionary. It's about being authentic. It's about being individual. It's finding your community. It's also a higher frequency energy. So what is happening when a planet basically comes to a stop? I mean, obviously it doesn't really stop, but from our perspective comes to a stop. It's called it stations, and it means it's drilling down on one spot. And in this case, Pluto basically isn't moving all month. So wherever, if anyone knows their Aquarius house or area of life, that is going to have Pluto intensified, drilling down in that part of your life. And what it's asking is to show up authentically and in that way become your empowered self. Part of that has to do with really acknowledging the shadow, allowing that level of healing and transformation, which is not always easy, but is really powerful. And this is the first planet, outer planet, the big planets, that is turning direct. So because it's standing still, it's almost like, okay, we're moving to the future, but we're not there yet. And Pluto will be, I don't have this on the slide, but Pluto will be this month in close supportive connection with the planet Uranus, which is also very futuristic, and it's about being authentic. They are supporting each other. So they're in a way, the deeper transformation, the deeper healing, the allowing ourselves to go into sort of hidden places is also allowing us to show up really authentically, who we are. And that is really being highlighted this year or this month in a way that is going to repeat, particularly starting next June or July, and then 4 more times after that until 2027. So there's something that's being initiated right now in the energies that we are going to be really living for a couple of years. So a big part of this is to just really allow ourselves our own personal transformation, whatever that is. Everyone's got their own different thing. But what we want to do is allow ourselves to follow what we are being guided to manifest, to follow the inner vision that we are holding for ourselves and really connect to that part. And the other piece that's so important, I know I've talked about this a lot over the last year, is connecting to your soul tribe. Sometimes I've used the word family of frequency. This is so important because we are now redefining who we are individually, personally, but also collectively. And what we want to do is be supported by those who share our vision, who can support us to be true to who we are. And then in the reverse, we can support others to be true to be their authentic self. And because we're in this incredibly changing time, we need those around us that are recognizing the monumental energetic shift that we're going through, and so that we can support each other. So really, really important. And Aquarius is about the community. So it's really to be empowered by that. And there's another piece that we can watch for this month is if Pluto goes deep in and digs around in the shadow and brings things up, we can allow ourselves to be open to the realizations that are coming. And this may feel intense. Pluto isn't easy work, but it is work that transforms forever. So they say in astrology, when Pluto touches a point of your chart, it is forever transformed. So this is an invitation right now as it's drilling down. And if you know what part of the chart it is, you can really look at that piece, but where it's drilling down, and to not, I'm going to say, not shy away from the intensity, but to welcome what is coming up from the shadows, knowing that it's coming up to be healed. And once healed, it doesn't control from the shadows anymore. There's this transmutation of the energy. And in that, in those shadows is fear and shame, and that's part of Pluto's energies as well. And that's, it's the call to, oh, I see what I've been doing. I see those old patterns. It's time to let them go. So we're really looking at old ways of being and releasing what we don't want to carry forward, as I've been talking about, into 2026, when there's this whole new cycle that's beginning. So we're birthing something new. Each one of us individually, as we're aligning to what feels right for us, but we're also being asked to let go of things that we thought were true and are no longer true for us, no longer support us. So this is a powerful, powerful time for all of us to really embrace this level of transformation that the planets are supporting.
Okay, so we have a bit of a tough one here. And that is that we're going to ask you to dig deep just for a moment and pick a fear, any fear. One that is has been plaguing you perhaps for a while, one that just pops up into your awareness in this moment. Doesn't matter which it is, just one. And if you don't feel comfortable putting that down in the group chat, please just message me privately, and I am going to clear that for you. And then we're going to move on, and Valen is going to share the next piece with us while I do that work for you. If there is some shame associated with this fear, even better. I have some of my own, so I'm going to put that in as well.
And I just put that in myself. So there we go. So there is an aspect in the sky that's happening, and it's connected to Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet. It's the greater benefic. It expands, it reveals truths, it uplifts. It also can expand everything. So where we can be overly optimistic or just kind of blow things up. But in general, Jupiter, the whole point of Jupiter's energy is to support us in our growth. Now, it is going to be in connection with two planets that are coming together, Chiron and Eris. Chiron is the wounded healer, often places where we've been wounded in our childhood, so core wounds that we carry with ourselves. And as we work with them and as we do our own healing, we become a mentor, a guide, or a healer through our own healing journey. So that's Chiron's job. Eris is a disruptor. In the myth, she threw an apple into a wedding party where she was not invited and said, you know, this is for the fairest, something like that. And of course, caused total chaos. But it was about disrupting the injustice and being a catalyst for change. And also the piece, she was excluded. And therefore, it's that place about what is excluded from our story. So all of these are coming together. Jupiter is going to reveal truths through this. It can expand this, so there may be some intensity around this. And I should have said Eris is the sister of Mars, so she's a warrior energy, strong feminine warrior energy. Jupiter right now is in Cancer, and Cancer is about our emotions, it's about our families. It's also about our inner guidance and our intuition. So right now, we're being gifted, Jupiter, guided, supported, to really connect to our emotions, particularly any emotions that are rooted in our family patterns and stories. So just something to be aware of, because it could possibly be, for other reasons too, an emotional month. But Jupiter is doing this to uplift us and reveal truths. So to recognize the gifts that are coming from this. And so it's a place to really invite the memories that come up where we can heal our past. Because as we're looking at this energy, and we're looking at particularly at Chiron, the core wounding, and Jupiter, the connection to our emotions, and we've got this time where we're going to be able to look back on our past and let go of some of that stuff, heal the past so that we're not carrying it into the future. So that the future path opens up, becomes clearer as we release some of these old pieces of ourselves. These may not necessarily be to do with family, but they often have a root in the family story, young. And really to recognize that our emotions hold so much truth for us. And this is part of Jupiter's job, revealing truths. And so there's a place here that the wisdom of what comes up in the emotions, even, they're not always uncomfortable emotions, but they can be. And no matter what the emotions are, there is a wisdom that has come to speak to us in this month as an agent of healing. So the piece about releasing old wounds, old vulnerabilities, is clearing the path so that we can align to who we are becoming. Once again, 2026, these new cycles begin. We've already been dancing in these energies, certainly over the summer, but we've had a taste this year of things which once again might not be clear, but there may be an inkling, a feeling like, oh, something pulling you forward. That's something that you can really tap into and follow. What is pulling me forward? And I'm just going to say, what is the emotion connected to that? I'm just going to say that sense of excitement, or that sense of you being uplifted in some way by an idea. That's where there's a lot of wisdom that's coming in terms of where are you heading. So this is a time when we can do the healing, but we can also really tap into that, what's inspiring us, what's moving us forward. And Eris, and even Chiron, but Eris is very much a courageous warrior. And we're looking at deep changes, and we're talking about deep healing. And so there's a place here where we're being supported to really step into our courage about the changes that we're in the midst of. We're in the middle of it, which is why things feel uncertain and there's chaos. We're in the middle of it. We're in the mushy part of the cocoon. We're not the butterfly yet. So we're really living this uncertainty. And as we recognize how much we've learned, and even if we think over the past year, the past couple of years, as all of this transformation has begun, to recognize what we've learned and what we've gained, because that is part of the guide that's bringing us into this future that we're beginning the manifestation of. And I wanted to bring in the Eris part about integrating pieces of ourselves that we've excluded. That's for our own soul growth. And I'll just put in, I put in shame in the text. Now there's pieces that, oh, I don't really want to look at that. Ooh, that doesn't make me feel comfortable. Not that I haven't done it for 30 years or whatever, but that place. So this is a beautiful time, as being supported by Jupiter, to really look at the places that need to be integrated, that have been excluded from what makes us feel comfortable. Those inner places of ourselves. This may extend to other people as well, but talking really personally. So it's a powerful, supportive time to really look at our own deep healing, so that we have more clarity around what we're initiating next year.
Beautiful. So in response to what people have put in the chat, we've cleared the negative emotion of confusion. And we have reconnected with, or re-implemented, re-amplified the I am statement, I am grateful. I am grateful. So we've got some gratitude here, and we've got some letting go of this confusion, which is connected in with the pieces that you shared. So what we're looking for now is a part of you, or a quality that you feel that you possess, that you remember having when you were young, or you remember it being kind of a big part of who you were when you were like a long time ago, and that you've maybe forgotten, or that you haven't really thought about. Or maybe if you can't connect with that, just choose a quality that you admire in somebody that you love. because I can tell you that if you admire that quality in somebody else, it's already in you. You're just not remembering that it is. So I want a quality that either you felt you had when you were younger and you haven't really been using it recently, or you haven't been appreciating it recently, or if you can't connect with that, just something that you admire in people around you. And then we're just gonna, as we do that, I'm going to balance you for holding for that. And we're going to move on to the next slide.
I was thinking about the confusion piece as listening to you, knowing this slide was coming next, of course, because I did them. So what is happening right now is Neptune has gone back into Pisces, retrograde, moving backwards for the last time. It's moving out of Pisces in January, and it won't be back for 150 years. And Neptune is our dreams, and it rules Pisces. Pisces is our dreams. It's our vision. It's our creativity. It's our empathy. It's our compassion. It's this beautiful, intuitive, spiritual, creative energy. So we're getting this opportunity to really dip back into this and to really connect to what our vision is, because we're going to carry this forward in February when Jupiter and Saturn move into Aries out of Pisces. But what's happening right now is there's almost I was going to say a calm before the storm. That's not a terrible way to put it. There's a way we can be sitting back in this. We can trust in it. We can surrender to it. We can tap into our dreams. And that's, Kate, I saw your thing. The dreams will be powerful voices for us, opening to our intuition, to our emotions, just to really trust those places. And there's something about the whole fall, and this kind of comes into it, is that as planets go retrograde, they turn in, they look back, they re-examine and reevaluate. So there may be, in general, a time when it's like, wait a second, I had this vision, it's not moving forward. Well, what's going on? There's a place where, even though life goes on, day after day, life goes on, there's this pullback. But the pullback is connecting to our inner self, connecting to our own dreams. And there's a place about Neptune, which is where I was looking at the confusion, where because it's of the water and it can be foggy and it can be confusing, disorienting. It can, you can slip into denial. This is all sort of Neptune and Pisces kind of energy, where instead of being in the creative flow, we're like, I don't have a clue, like what direction, I can't see through the fog. There's no boundaries. I don't know what's going on. That's also part of the Neptunian energy. And so it'll be valuable to watch where that happens. Where do we get lost and have no boundaries, or where do we just simply get confused? And the call is, whenever I'm doing a reading and people are struggling with the Neptunian energy in their chart for some reason, that call, when there is confusion, it's go back to the dream, go back to the inner voice, go back to the trust, go back to the flow. That's the way forward. So just to recognize where these places come up in your life. And at the same time, and this will be true for other planets, but because this is going back, repeating stories, watch for repeating energetic patterns, even if they're coming up in a different way. Because once again, the repeating patterns are only there to say, pay attention to me. This is time to either release, to heal, to have compassion for yourself, to let it go. So that absolutely may be happening partly with your dreams, partly with your vision for yourself, your creativity. There may be places where it's like, oh, this isn't moving. Like, what the heck is going on? I feel like I should be moving forward and I'm not. That's because it's this pull inward. Pull back to our vision. And is our vision truly in alignment with what we want to bring into the world next year? To look at it, refine it. It's a beautiful time to do that. The other piece about Neptune, it's about the higher frequencies. It's love, it's gratitude, it's compassion. If the more that we can use this energy to connect, the more that we are creating our reality from that place. And to recognize the same things like, oh my God, I'm confused and I'm overwhelmed. All those things. that we're all feeling at various times in our lives now because of the way the world is right now and the energies. But to recognize that I'm getting overwhelmed, you know what? I just need to take a deep breath. I need to connect. I need to feel, my guides. I need to be creative, whatever it is, doesn't matter. That is the energy you want to use to create the new reality that we're about to step into. So part of this is Neptune is about what our inspiration. So it's really being in the flow, even if it's just the tiniest thing. What inspires you? What lights you up? What are your dreams telling you? And to follow that, because those pieces are also what's leading you into a future that you want to create for yourself. So follow those sparks of inspiration, those dreams when they come up, and it's like, ooh, that excites me. That's a beautiful way to use this energy. And to recognize that come next year, beginning of next year, we're stepping into taking action. And to me, it feels like the more that we can connect to our spiritual energy and feel grounded in that and feel comfortable being the flow of that, that's the place we're going to take action from. So all of this is preparation for that. And this is also very ungrounded energy. And so what we want to do is we're connecting to all of this ethereal, dreamy, inspiring, expansive energy. We want to keep our feet on the ground. We want to stay grounded so that it can flow through us, so that we won't get overwhelmed and, caught up in illusions or disillusionment. And even, I'm going to say, when it gets confusing, there, you can fall into discouragement or a sense of this isn't working the way I want. That sense of disappointment. That's also sort of the more challenging aspects of Neptune and Pisces. And so what we want to do is we want to recognize when that's happening. We need to once again take a deep breath and connect to who we are in essence, and all the stuff, the sort of the journeying that we do, whatever practices and tools you have, to literally ground yourself so that the beauty of the Neptunian energy can flow through you and it can inspire you, your dreams, into what is coming in the new year.
I just love this energy so much. And I love the images that you come up with also, Bella. And I encourage everybody to kind of sink into the images of Valen's slides, because they are so evocative of the energy that she shares with us. So we're going to, for our last piece here before Valen does her wrap-up slide, and then we go into our journey, which will be related actually to all of this, of course, but to the Zora message. The next piece here is, what inspires you? So even if it's just a word, and we're not going to go so far as to say this is your word of the month, because who knows what this month is going to roll out to look like. But right now, on the first of the month, what is your one inspirational word just in this moment, or a word you've been working with all year, or a word that comes to you that you want to be working with this year, or whatever? What is it that feels sparkly inside you, that inspires you? And as always, I will balance you for that, and we will move on for Valen to finish up her.
So because we're in this place where there's a lot of backward pull of energy, and at the same time, there's this sense of anticipation that something new is being birthed, we truly are living in a liminal space. We are standing in a threshold, and can no longer go back. The past no longer is the past. We can't step back into that. It's no longer reality. We're moving into a future that hasn't formed yet. We're forming it, and particularly over the course of this fall, we're getting a chance to reevaluate what we choose to form of the future that we're bringing in. So we're at this threshold right now, and this is a place that can be very uncomfortable, because we're in the familiar and we're in the unfamiliar. We're like, oh, this makes me comfortable. Oh my God, I have no idea what's coming, and that scares me. Or that, all of these, this is all real. And of course, we're seeing it externally, in our world, but we can also feel it internally wherever we're making shifts and changes. And it's like, oh, I'd really like just to go back. It was so comfortable there. I want to, curl up, and that's all good. And we don't have that choice anymore. We are moving forward, and we're moving into something new. So what this time offers us is this really potent time to dream in what we're becoming. So it goes perfectly with what Sasha's getting us to, like, what's our inspiration? What lights us up? What feels like something that's pulling us forward? And if we can connect to that feeling of it, and it doesn't even have to be a concrete thing, it doesn't have to be a specific thing we're going to manifest. It's a feeling. If we can connect to the essence of a vision that we want, that's how we create our reality, from that place, from that inner fire, that inner spark. That's how our reality is going to be created. And so because over the course of this fall, in particular this month, the planets are all in retrograde, certainly until Pluto turns direct, we're really being asked to let go of what we've outgrown. What do we don't need anymore, to make space for that new thing that we may not even know. We may have a sense of it. We may have a sense, feel into it, and not actually know what that means. But what our job is right now is to reflect on where we've come from, what we've learned, how we've grown, and let the pieces that we don't need anymore, let them go. And there's another piece about this, and I thought I had it on the Neptunian slide. Now I must have skipped over it. And I'll refer to the Neptunian slide, because we are, as we leave Pisces and go into Aries, thank you. And there we go. Endings are sacred. Skipped right over that. So we want to allow space for compassionate closure, because we're at an end. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Neptune does a 164-year orbit. So just in that one alone, we are in a time of profound endings. And endings are powerful growth parts of our life. And we just want to be present, and we want to be compassionate, have a lot of self-compassion with what it's like to let go of things. So I didn't want to, I'm glad I remembered that, because I feel like that's a huge piece of what this fall is about. And to really honor the losses, even if they are guiding us into, the future that we know we are creating, where we're moving forward. But it does, when we let things down, even old patterns that we know don't serve us, but they're comfortable and they've been with us forever. And can we let them go? So all of this piece, just to really honor that this is a sacred time, and to be really, to as we release old patterns, to, be in gratitude for what they've given to us and how they've supported us, and to acknowledge the feeling of loss for things that no longer serve us. It's part of the process. It's not an easy part, but it's the piece that has to happen so that we can feel into the anticipation of the new. What's that inkling that's coming up for us? What's that thing that kind of excites me? There's something there, even if you can't quite, it's not tangible yet. And at the same time, make time for the reflection of the past. What's worked, what didn't work, how do we want to refine where we're moving to? How do we want to reassess even where we want to go? All of these pieces, this is the time we're in this, once again, living these two realities, feeling into the new, and being drawn back at a very deep level into our past. And because there's so much of this undertow pulling us back in and down and into our past, we have to have patience. There may be times, and particularly this month, there may be times when, things aren't moving. Like, wait a second, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. What's happening? And we have to trust that this all takes time, and it's part of our inner journey. So this is not a time to push. This is a time to trust. This is a time to be open and move when it's appropriate, move forward, make steps forwards, but to recognize that we have to have patience, because a lot of the work that's being done right now is the inner work. And that inner work is the foundation for what we're going to be creating as we move forward, particularly into February of next year. And this is just to reiterate that very same Pluto and Aquarius community being empowered. Surround yourself with those who share your vision, who support you to be who you are, and allow you to dream in whatever it is that is your soul calling. And we all need those people, because this is not easy work. This is not an easy transition. So we're all living it together. Find those people who can, hold space for you, and you can hold space for them. So we're not doing it alone. This is all of us showing up and being who we need to be, whatever that means, and supporting each other to do the same.
And what an interesting thing, Bella, and that comes up at a time when our society and our world feels more fragmented than ever before. And
Exactly.
so it's really, I think that is a call to and a press to reconnect, to become reconnected within, of course. That's our first job. And then to connect with that supportive group, those supportive sisters or brothers, those like-minded souls, who will be our cheerleaders, or who will call us to our own greatness, our own beauty, which sometimes, also means telling us the truth that we might not necessarily want to hear. So we've reconnected to the truth of serene, the energy of serene. And that is to support that piece that you shared, whether you shared it in the chat or not. It came to your awareness, even if you didn't type it down for us. It came to your awareness, that piece that is inspirational for you. So there's an energy of serenity that's being offered to you for that. So we're going to move into our journey now. And if you would like to turn off your camera, this is not recorded for anybody else to see because of the way that we record it. The only thing that's visible is the screen that's being shared and whomever is speaking. So for none of you will this be seen by anyone. However, if you would still prefer to have your video off, please feel free. If you'd like to lie down, please feel free. But we're going to encourage you in any case to close your eyes. And we're going to move into this space of really honoring what has been so that we can move forward. And this is something I was just telling someone about. It might have been about Anne, actually. I was just telling somebody about how much I put into the letting go of our old house that had served us so well. I was so ready to leave it. I was so done with it. And I had intended, we had thought that we would be there for 2 to 3 years. We ended up being there for 7. So, all through the COVID debacle. And so I was so ready to leave. And yet I knew how important it was to be really, really grateful to every room, every floorboard. I went and thanked the bathrooms before I left. Like, we did ceremony there for weeks and weeks beforehand to say thank you. Gratitude was a huge piece in terms of letting go, of really acknowledging how the difficulty, the kitchen made me crazy. And, the difficulties of working in that kitchen, I get that it's first world problems, but it was really important to take some time to really be grateful for what that space had provided to me. So that's just one example. So I want you to close your eyes and really soften your body back into your seat. Place one or both of your hands on your belly. So we're going back to that belly energy. Allow your attention to drop down into it and then release down further into the earth below you. So we're really bringing in awareness to the ground underneath our feet, or our bottoms if you're sitting on the floor, or your back body if you're lying on the ground. We're going to exhale fully. And then inhale softly through the nose. And then exhale again and pause at the bottom of your exhale. Just rest here. in the sweet emptiness of this space, of this pause within you, just for a moment before gently inviting in that next inhale. And though the sun hasn't set yet on this first day of October, we can feel the indigo energy of this month beginning to wrap around us like the velvet night sky. This month, the cosmos thickens its presence in our body, especially in the womb space, that place that you're holding with your hands right now. This center is a temple of birth and death, of endings and beginnings. Breathe into this sacred center of your wild wisdom and your creative impulses. Notice the depth inside you. Your creative center is rich with potential. Each inhale awakens self-compassion. Each exhale releases what no longer serves you. Let forgiveness and self-love ripple through you. Feel your breath anchoring you as this energy deepens within. Each breath is a reminder you are safe to expand, safe to trust what is emerging. This cosmic weather that we're in right now is a little bit like a dog leg in the game of golf. That's a bend where you can't see the straight path ahead. There are hidden turns, possible hazards, unknown terrain. Let this image remind you, uncertainty is not your enemy, it is your training ground. Let today's chaos be your teacher as you breathe in your future more fully. Right now, you are preparing your nervous system to hold more awareness, more light, more knowing, more possibility. Take this moment to thank your old system's limitations, the old stories that have kept you small and safe. Your body's intention has only ever been to find balance and wellness in safety for you. So let's be grateful for these old limitations that we can begin to shed now. Feel into your center of centers. Ask yourself, what values anchor me when the path is unclear? Breathe into your center and say quietly to yourself, I return to what matters. I trust my own knowing. Notice what sensations arise: warmth, pressure, spaciousness, maybe a little bit of anxiousness. That's okay. Let your body be your compass, guiding you beyond the bend. Say yes to yourself now. What joy is calling you? What spark of enthusiasm is waiting to be followed? That serenity energy is supporting you here. In this moment, offer yourself permission. I trust myself. I say yes to what is alive in me. Take a sweet, deep breath in and release it slowly and completely. Just rest here in this beautiful sunlit space amongst the trees, on the gentle path. This is your path. When you're ready, open your eyes and return to this place and time, carrying that indigo frequency of self-trust into the rest of your month. So that's it. We are done for this evening. Thanks very much for joining us. And if you are interested in any of our Discovering the Language of the Stars astrology courses with Valan, please reach out to us at joy@toolsfortransformation.ca, and you can get more information about the courses on our website, toolsfortransformation.ca. We will see you on the 5th of November for our next Inner Wisdom Astro-Healing Circle.